This video is brought to you by Osmocote, the planter's plant food.
Hi, I'm Marianne Binetti, and I'm here to give you some tips on how to keep your shrub roses blooming all summer long. Now, these new roses are so great. They're disease resistant. Names like the knockout roses, the flower carpet roses, and they bloom in clusters. So here's what I mean by that. Here's a stem. It has all these flowers blooming at the top of the stem all at the same time. Now, what you need to do is prune the entire cluster off, and that'll encourage new growth. You'll get blooms all summer long. So here's the cluster. If I look all the way down here, you can see where this is a joint. It comes to a Y. I'm going to remove the entire stem using my bypass pruners, making one clip, and this entire stem is coming off. Now, these flowers are mostly spent, so the entire thing is going to be going into the compost pile. And that leaves on this stem one free stem, and now this whole cluster here will be free to bloom. Now, what I've also done, when you prune off these older branches, you're removing leaves that have the rust disease. So here's another cluster. You can see the flowers are about done blooming. And look at these leaves. I'm going to take one off so you can see. Underneath, you see these little orange dots. That is called rust disease. The best way to treat them is cut them off. They're usually on the oldest leaves of the rose plant. So it's easy when you're removing the faded blooms to prune down nice and low. See how long of a stem I took off? Because then I'm removing the diseased leaves. By removing the diseased leaves before it gets too bad, I'm going to pull off any leaves that are yellowy. Like this with my hands. I simply pull downward like that. Cleans up the entire rose. Don't worry if you're not leaving very many leaves, because new growth, just like this, nice clean new growth, will then sprout out to replace the diseased leaves. So, the only other maintenance I'm going to do is keep my roses well watered throughout the summer using a drip system so they don't get their leaves wet, and keep them well fertilized. I use a slow release plant food, something like Osmocote, that is going to give them nutrients all summer long, and these roses are going to continue to bloom, beautiful roses, all the way into fall. This has been Marianne Binetti telling you easy answers to growing great roses.